Easy One-Up Chat Sequences or Easy One-Up Conversations. Hello, this is Peter Beckenham, the Village Marketer, and this presentation is for those people who've purchased Easy One-Up but are having problems converting their prospects, or in reality they're losing confidence and belief in themselves because they've not made many or any sales yet. I'm going to provide you with a series of talking points and some sample scripts that are working for me. Now please understand, I am no guru marketer, but I have generated more than $6,000 in the last 8 weeks with Easy One-Up, so something must be working for me, okay? I also have quite a few potential Easy One-Up prospects in my pipeline. So, first of all, have at least 3 helpful conversations every day. But it's important to share with you that I never deliberately go looking for potential Easy One-Up prospects. They come to my attention by applying the communication skills we're all taught in our SOS group, plus the endless free leads training provided in your Easy One-Up back office. That's if you purchased at the Exodus Elite or above level, right? What I'm about to share with you is not something that you memorize and repeat. What I'm asking you to do is to keep your possible desperate need for sales aside, put them away, right? And focus on listening to and helping your prospect and let the sales take care of themselves. And they will. So this is the outline. First of all, establish rapport. Rapport is everything. Remember, the selling of your Easy One-Up opportunity begins as soon as your sales conversation does, right? Are you targeting the right audience? Do some research about your prospect from their Facebook profile. Ask confirming questions, but never ask questions that are answered in their profile already. Otherwise, they'll know for sure you haven't even bothered to show any interest in them, right? Thank them for their time today and tell them the focus of your conversation is to help them if you possibly can. But more importantly, to build a relationship with them because they are friends of yours from Facebook probably, right? Ask about them first, not their business. Okay? Look for common interest or use the form approach to family, occupation, recreation and money, right? Discuss them, not their business. If you want to talk straight about their business, then they know immediately that you're not interested in them, right? One question I've found really helpful to start a general conversation is, if you received enough money to never work again, what would you spend your time doing? I mean, I've had great success with that. It's an opening type question, and all you have to do is listen actively to the answer. Or another question you could use to open your conversation, what are you spending most of your time on right now? Notice I didn't say business. It gives them a chance to share personal or business. It's up to them, right? So once you've had some brief discussions and started building some rapport, you can then get to the point about talking about their business, right? And the question is, how best to move from the small talk, the personal talk, to a business chat? That's a question that some people really struggle with, and I've got some thoughts for you. First of all, surprise your new friends. I mean, one of the best ways to start building the know, like and trust factors is to surprise them. How do you do this? By being totally honest and transparent. Disarm them with your honesty. I mean, for example, in your chat you could say, you know, I'd like to ask you something about your online business, but I just don't know how to put it into words. Now just wait for a response. And let's assume that they said, well, what do you want to know? Then use the what I find approach. I use this rather than ask people directly. For example, this is what I'd say. What I find is that many people are having challenges with their cash flows. What about you? I mean, rather than ask people directly, I use the what I find because it's indirect and not so threatening. For example, this is the question I'd ask them. What I find is that many people are having challenges with their cash flows. What about you? How are you creating the cash flow that you need? Or, I'm no multimillionaire guru marketer, but I do have some great connections and mentor support. May I ask you something about your business? Wait for their answer and then say, well, for me, one of the biggest challenges was getting enough cash flow to make it worth all the effort I was doing when I started my business. What about you? How are you creating the cash flows that you need? Or another approach I've had? What scares you most about your business future? That one has created all sorts of interesting responses. Listen and learn. Okay? Listen to the answers they give you and learn. And remember, people like to hear themselves talk more than listen to you, okay? So with all those questions and answers, you can now start to ask them something a bit more serious. For example, What's the number one headache or problem in your business? Now be careful when you ask this question and make sure you have built some rapport first. I mean, the answer to the question is probably traffic or leads or sales, but you only ask that question once you've built some rapport, okay? It's important you understand this whole conversation process. The engagement levels is critical. You have to be an active listener, and you must resist the temptation to interrupt and tell your story. Keep the focus on them. Keep the focus on your prospect. That is the essential part of this conversation chat sequence. In addition, always ask open-ended questions. These will cover all you need to know in order to introduce your particular offer, maybe. But don't manipulate them. Simply keep the focus on them, right? No manipulation is required at all. Listen carefully and ask more interesting questions based on the answers they've already given you. It's easy. You just follow them, right? But in the same time, keep in mind where you're going to take them. And finally, ask why they gave you the answer. And they do this often. And then drill down on their answer by asking why again. Because the first answer you get may not be the real pain point. This is the important thing, right? And you have to uncover their pain point. You have to uncover the emotions that come with that pain point. Because once you've done that, you are sitting on a potential gold mine. But of course, you can't win them all. I mean, if cash flow is not a challenge for your particular prospect, then that's fine, okay? Move on. I mean, there's a billion more in Facebook alone, right? Don't worry about it. However, if cash flow is a challenge or a real interest for them, then you need to find out more about their needs, their pain points. Uncover the emotional drivers, as I mentioned to you before. One of the questions you could ask, and it sounds so obvious but it's not funny, is this: why do you want more cash flow? You get all sorts of answers to that. The most recent answer I got was, because I'm sick of all the financial stress. Okay? Then I would follow up by saying, so what would it mean to you, for example, if you could remove all this financial stress? I mean, it sounds like a stupid question, but bear with me here, right? Because the answer I got was financial freedom and peace of mind. Then I followed up by saying, well, what does financial freedom and peace of mind really look like to you? See how I'm drilling down more and more to find out really what the pain point is? So what does financial freedom and peace of mind really mean to you? And the answer, so I can take care of my family and be able to spend more time with them. Now we're getting close to the real pain points, right? See, it's not just cash flow at all, right? So then I followed up by saying, why is spending more time with your family important to you? And the answer I've often got is things like this: so I can do all the things in life that make me truly happy. And so I know that all the work I've done hasn't been for nothing. Aha! We've finally uncovered the real pain points. Another answer I got to this question recently was that the guy wanted to spend more time with his family to help his wife with their disabled daughter. And he wanted to take his family, including their disabled daughter, on what would have been their very first ever family vacation. So then I had it all. That was the real issue, and that was where the emotion came in, right? It's got nothing to do with the cash flow. Cash flow was just a means to an end. He wanted to take better care of his daughter, all right? So let's look at what we just uncovered in this particular conversation chat sequence. First of all, the perceived need more cash flow. Now, sadly, most people stop right there. That's all they do, right? They don't go any further. But we uncovered their main need was, for example, sick of being under financial stress. And then we went further and found the desired outcome, and that was financial freedom and peace of mind. And finally, we got to the real pain point, the emotional end of the spectrum, not being able to do the things that make them happy in their life. Right? At that point in time, we truly then understood exactly why this person wanted more cash flow. Here's some more practical tips for you, right? First of all, ask for the business. I mean, don't leave this step out. Many people do. Even if you know they're not ready to make a decision right then, ask anyway. Whatever they tell you in response to that question will tell you exactly what you need to do to sort out before the prospect will buy from you. It's the only way to find out how close you are to making your easy one-up sale, right? So Ask for the business. You've got nothing to lose. Next, decide on the next step. Whether you close the Easy One Up sale or not, be absolutely certain that both you and your prospect and or customer know what happens next. Are they ready to get started with Easy One Up? When do they want to do that? What else do they need to know if they become a customer of Easy One Up? Is there anyone else they need to talk to before they're going to make a decision? Ask them, what else can you do to help them moving forward with their decision with Easy One Up? Always be offering help, okay? Another very useful tip is to paraphrase what the prospect says and ask if your understanding is correct. And by using their words, it's very difficult for them to deny, right? Next, rephrase your questions. If your prospect seems confused or uncertain about how to answer any question you ask, rephrase the question. Ask again. Change the wording around until your prospect understands and can give you an answer, all right? Next, use stories to illustrate your points and involve your prospects. People love stories. Truly they do. And people relate to other people, and storytelling captures their imagination, and they will remember them much more than anything else you share with them, I can tell you. So gather lots of success stories to show that almost anyone can succeed with this simple little Easy One Up business. Where do you get the stories from? I'll give you one easy way to go. Go to Mr. Google. Put in success stories from Easy One Up. I did that before making this particular presentation, and I got 34,000 responses. Go and take your pick. And that includes some great little videos, all right? So use stories all the time. Next, if you're messaging or doing a face-to-face in terms of your discussion with Easy One Up, make sure you are looking at the body language, okay? Signs that they are either disinterested, lacking attention, or whatever, okay? I mean, if you see glazed looks, crossed arms, or blank stares, you better pick up your pace, or ask them another question, or tell a story, or cut to a key benefit that will wake them up. Or for example, tell them you get paid directly by the customer that enables you to get paid today. That's one of the great benefits of Easy One Up, all right? Get their attention back, because if they're starting to phase out on you, you are wasting your time and you're wasting theirs. Next, make sure you connect the dots. You need to be able to connect the dots for your prospect between what they need and what you do. Never assume they're going to work it out for themselves. People will always want to know what's in it for you. So tell them, as that's one of the main reasons why they should consider becoming an Easy One Up affiliate, right? Use specific examples of how you and or other people have achieved success with Easy One Up, right? Use your stories. Now, next comes a question that some of you probably are scared of. If you're asked, how much money have you made? Now, if you're asked that one, tell them the truth. And if none so far, say that. But add that you've only really just discovered how to make this very successful business work for you, and that I'd like to share some of these success secrets with you, all right? In addition, tell them you have a very successful and supportive sponsor who is ready, willing and able to help them build their Easy One Up business opportunity. They're not going to be left on their own because we want them to succeed, and you want them to succeed, right? Now, here's some more generic questions you can ask. Some of these are a bit tough and you may not be confident to use it, but think about it. The first one, what does success mean to you? Open-ended question, right? You can use this at the start of the conversation, of course, right? Another one, if you haven't created success yet, what's preventing this from happening? Is it you or something else? Now that's a bit tough, right? Think about that. Another question. Today, make a choice. Do you want to feel successful or look successful? Tell them you're not being rude, but it's extremely important to them to truly feel and believe that they're successful or to simply look successful. There's a huge difference between the two. Now remember, if you don't know your prospects' pain points, then how in the heck can you help them? And how can you sell anything if you don't know? It's your responsibility to identify these pain points and to provide them with a solution if you possibly can, right? Of course, it's not an easy process. I appreciate that because it takes time and genuine interest. But the rewards can be massive and many times over. The information you get from these questions is vital to your success with Easy One Up. It truly is. Without that information, first of all, you don't know what to offer them, and secondly, you've built no rapport, so there's no trust factor between you and your prospect. So what I'm suggesting you do is this. Follow what I've been trying to tell you. Differentiate yourself today. Become an active and helpful listener, right? Make yourself memorable by being non-threatening and helpful and interested. Another thing, never rely only on a canned tell and sell approach. Do them the courtesy of listening to them and seeing if you can understand and really appreciate their situation. Forget that you're selling and just genuinely be helpful, and the sales will take care of themselves. I promise you that. Show that you are interested and try to help them. Next, identify their pain points, and I mean all of them. Your job is to identify the pain points of every prospect you come across, and I mean all the pain points they have, by following what I've just shared with you today, and drill down. Don't accept their first answer as the pain point, okay? Find out more and more and get to the emotional level. Another point, another tip, rehearse what you're going to say. Let me share this with you. Don't try and learn all the scripts by heart. That's crazy, right? Because the questions you're going to ask them will be based on the answers that they give. Use some of these script questions to get the conversation going, that's all. But rehearse it, because the more familiar you are with the outline you want to present, the more natural you will sound to your prospect. And that's an important part of you building trust and rapport with them. And remember, no second chances. You won't get a second chance to present what you can do for them. So this questioning process is critical. You must get it right first time round, right? You must attract and maintain their interest and build their trust. And follow what I've shared with you, and it will happen. You will succeed, and you will achieve the sales that you want. Watch your status and your Easy One-Up sales boom. I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, once you start getting some sales, your self-confidence will go through the roof, and you can take some of the ideas I've shared with you and completely change them around to suit your own personality and style. I wish you all the very best. I hope you found some benefit in this presentation. Thank you for listening, and bye for now.